What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you a few things to look out for on Yeezy 350, specifically the Moonrock Yeezys. I know a lot of you are looking to buy Yeezys and there are a lot of fakes out there. So after you watch this video, I guarantee you will be well educated. You will know exactly what to look out for. Now the first thing I wanted to talk about has to be the box label. Now you're going to see that there's a little guy in the top left corner. Both of his arms should be exactly the same size. I have seen some where one arm, like say the left arm, was a lot fatter than the right arm. You want to make sure that all of his limbs are symmetrical, everything looks the same. Also, as you can see here, I can't really tell if the fonts are wrong or right. However, some people are able to tell. In addition to this, as you can see, there's 6 boxes right here. Something that's unique about this one could have the UPC in the bottom right corner. Now this one could have UPC or EAN. Now the one that only has 3 boxes, that one can only have UPC. This one right here can have UPC or EAN. That is something that a lot of people get confused about. Now next up, you want to make sure that the wrapping paper is almost like this waxy, plasticky type paper. You don't want it to be like computer paper, newspaper, that type of material. It's not your ordinary sneaker wrapping paper. It's kind of unique. This is something that I feel like fakes still struggle to get wrong, and that is the stitching on the front. Fakes have been getting better at it, but as you can see, it is a consistent pattern and the stitching looks nearly perfect. You really don't want it to have any mess ups whatsoever. Now getting into the laces, something unique about the Moonrock Yeezys, these laces are a lot thinner than the Turtle Doves and the Pirate Black Yeezys. I don't know why that is, but it's just the way it is. Also, you want to make sure that the lace tips are not black. They're going to be white, as you can see here. You're going to see that white little tip on the end. I've seen black and I've seen just clear. That's not right. Now next up we have the back tab. If you could see the stitching, it's pretty faint. A lot of fakes actually have this in black stitching, or it's just really bold and you can see it. As you can see with the other shoe, both of them together, from a distance, you can't really see it that well. You can still see it, it's evident there. This is just another thing to look out for. As you can see, the pattern on the left side and the right side, they don't meet up perfectly. That is exactly what you want to see. I've noticed that a lot of fakes, the back actually does meet up perfectly, and you want it to be kind of like this, like not perfect, like they go in all different directions. That's exactly what you want to see. Also, this bottom thing, it doesn't have to line up with that line that goes down the middle. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't really matter though. Some of the really bad fakes mess up on this, and basically the thing on the end, it's going to be sagging down. You want it to be on an angle like this coming down. You don't want it to be straight. It's pretty different than the V2 Yeezys. However, you're still going to be able to tell the difference between the fakes and the reals on this. Only really bad ones will get this wrong. Now as you can see, the stitching right here is basically perfect. You don't want any mess ups. You don't want any stitches sticking out or whatever, like flaring out. You want it to be absolutely 100% perfect. I just wanted to add this in. A lot of you are going to say this is obvious. However, when I first saw these released, I was confused about this. As you can see, it's kind of folded. Don't worry guys, that's completely normal, and the reason being, if you could see, there is some stitching right on the sides of the laces, and that's what causes that fold. Don't worry, fakes and real ones have this right. I wouldn't even worry about it at all. Now, there's no specific direction and where the pattern is going. However, you are going to see a direction. You don't want it to be just like some weird camouflage print or whatever. Good fakes have been getting this right. However, a lot of the bad fakes just have it like splattered all over the place, and that is completely wrong. The bottom of the insole should definitely have some sort of a blue tint to it. I don't know if you could see it or if the camera's going to pick it up. In person you definitely can. However, I added this white piece of paper next to it so you could see the difference between like a cream or cocaine white compared to this sole. As you can see, it's got this very slight blue tint to it. That's exactly what you want to see. You don't want it to be some sort of cocaine white. If you could take away one thing from this video, it has to be this. You want to make sure that the stitching on the inside when you take the insole out, it is white. I've seen so many that have black, and that is completely incorrect. Also, you want to make sure it only goes a quarter of the way down. It doesn't go all the way down. It just kind of stops right there. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you know to check the boost. However, this is exactly what you want to look for. As you can see, it's got some sort of a fingerprint pattern to it. In addition to that, it has all these seven little circles with 7 dots on each of them, as you can see. A lot of fakes just don't have this right. Also, it shouldn't be some glossy type of look. That's definitely wrong. In addition to that, however, if you could see, there's some dots. I don't know how many exactly, but there's dots on the very top, if you could see those. And basically, no fakes I've ever seen have those. I don't know why they can't get it right, but they just don't. On the upper part of the boost, I'm not sure if you could see it or if the camera's gonna pick it up, but there's a little circle in there. Now that's gonna be just like how it is on the V2 Yeezys. It's not gonna be the 7 dots or whatever. It's gonna be a circle with a few lines through it. This is just another thing to check. You wanna make sure the suede is smooth and it's nice and soft. The only reason this suede is actually somewhat rigid is because I cleaned it with a hard bristled brush. I'm supposed to clean it with a soft one, so that was my mistake. Also, you want to make sure that Adidas sign is about the same size as, I want to say like a thumb, kind of like a finger. It shouldn't be too bigger and it shouldn't be too much smaller. I've seen really bad fakes get this completely wrong. Last but not least, guys, this is something extremely important that I urge you to check. Just because they have a receipt does not mean that it is real. A lot of the fake receipts for Foot Locker, it'll say a name like Selena, as you see on the left. That is completely fake. There's also another name, I forget what it is, and you don't want the receipts to be like real paper. I mentioned this in a previous video for Bread 11s. You want it to be like flimsy, real receipt paper. Just wanted to mention that, guys. Just because they have the receipt doesn't mean that they're real. Still gotta check everything. Anyways, guys, I hope you took away a few things from this video, because I'm telling you, there are some really, really good fakes out there. I'm talking really good fakes. Very good fakes.